We've seen a couple Nintendo Labo kits already, including the Variety Pack and the Robot Kit. But now we're taking our first look at the Vehicle Kit, which includes a steering wheel, joystick, and a controller to control the submarine. The first thing you'll build in this kit is the key. It's pretty small, but more advanced than some of the earlier holsters we saw in the first Labo kits. And that's what you use to start up the bigger controllers in this kit. As soon as you plug it in, it turns on the on-screen vehicle, and you're up and going. The actual building experience doesn't look that different than what we saw before, and that's a good thing. I think the instructions are very detailed. You can pan the screen around to see different angles, and it's not that hard to put everything together. It really just takes time. Once you have everything built, you've got a couple different play modes. The one we spent the most time with in this demo is the adventure mode, and that's just a big map where you can drive around, fly around, and even dive in with the submarine. It feels like a small open world game, basically. You can drive around, interact with characters, and complete certain missions. And honestly, the controls feel pretty good. Driving around feels really natural, and I really liked flying with the joystick. It just does a great job of motion tracking, and it didn't take long for me to figure out the controls. The submarine controls are a little more difficult because it involves controlling 2 jets, and you're basically just navigating 2 dials to change directions. That'll probably involve a big learning curve for kids, but I think it could be a really fun thing for them too. And one interesting aspect of this mode is that fuel plays a pretty big role. One of the first things you have to do is drive up to a gas station, make sure you're in the right spot, and hit a button to get fueled. And if you're not in the right spot, you'll have to back up and maybe even parallel park. It's just kind of a fun thing to see kids learning to do. In addition to the key and the bigger controllers, there's also a pedal that really helps you control this entire experience as well. It works pretty much as you expect. It's just something that you mash your foot down on, but I found it to be pretty responsive and it feels good, even though it's made out of cardboard. We spent a bit of time in a couple other modes as well. One lets you use the Joy-Con as a virtual spray can to decorate your car, and there's also a battle mode that lets you go up against a computer or another player as well if they have their own Labo kits. Overall, there seems to be a lot more to do with this kit, especially compared to the Variety Kit. These controllers could actually be more useful in games like Mario Kart and other racing games down the line. While the Labo Variety Kit still seems like the best entry point for most people, just because it's simpler and it lets you really get to know the inner workings of this whole setup, the Vehicle Kit probably makes more sense than the Robot for a lot of folks, just because you can do so much with it. The Labo Vehicle Kit will be $70 and available on September 14th. Stay tuned for our full review in the next couple weeks.
You